Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm getting ready to stream here, so you know the drill. Gotta make sure everything's all smooth and going well. Sound is good. Um, all the things, all the things. So pulling up my chat now. I'm really ready for a LaCroix. I put some in the fridge earlier, and it's a little early. I got to get to my actual broadcast, so I got to wait 15 more minutes before I can have a LaCroix, but I'm very excited for one of those today. Um, but I thought we could go over what's going on over on X today because there's just been a lot going on, in the world of church leadership not doing what they're supposed to be doing, not being biblical leaders. And so I came across this tweet from Ron Cantor, this post rather. And you can follow me on X. I don't have it linked in this little thing here, but I do link my socials in my main broadcast, so you can find my link there. My username is byfaith_Eliz, which you can see down here, but it might be cut off actually. Hold up. See down here? Byfaith_Eliz right here. Underscore. Byfaith_Eliz. I tweet a little bit, but I find this app to be quite, I don't know. There's a lot going on this website, right? And so I try to make sure I'm keeping the peace. I don't want to cause upheave, right? But Ron Cantor recently did an interview with Ray, who was the husband of Kim. Kim was one of Michael Brown's alleged victims. And, a lot of people have a lot of different things to say. Londa Parker says, I am undone. I think I follow Londa. Yeah, I do. Chad Hawley said, well done, Ron. Mercy culture. Will Landon and Heather still plant their flag with pride? Ron said, that's a good question, Chad. It really depends on if they're sincere people or if they're just in it for the likes, clicks. Like podcasters. Having people serve them, etc. I would love for them to surprise us. Put a heart on that. Alex Smith said something interesting. This is a bizarre rant. Could anyone on here please list Michael Brown's sexual improprieties? Sorry to sound dismissive. I'm just a little confused. After 20 plus years, this must be some serious stuff. Was there sexual contact? Someone said lap sitting, butt touching, kissing, hand holding, leg grabbing, erotic massages. Ew. Didn't know this was going to be a PG-13 pre-show. Okay, hey everybody in the chat, what's going on? Thanks for joining. We got a few more minutes before I start my real broadcast today. Not that this is fake, but So, Dr. Brown is threatening to take Ron Cantor to court. I believe if Ron Cantor does not take down the portion of his letter, 130 some page letter that he has against Dr. Brown, saying that he has corn on his phone, that he's going to take him to court. That's what I've read on here. I'm not sure if that's exactly why or what Ron has to allegedly do. But yeah, this is crazy. Lawsuits don't turn out well for those that are criminally guilty of sexual A and clergy SA. Maybe the lawsuit will be in states that has laws against clergy SA. What would Michael Brown's secretary testify about? I believe Michael Brown is on film saying his hand contacted her bum, and it's documented. He said she sat on his lap and he kissed her. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, these people are they're such bullies. This is why I just really do not care for Heather Landon and Dr. Brown, because they're bullies. They just want to intimidate the podcasters into silence so that, Dr. Brown and Mercy Culture can go on their merry old way and continue to hurt people. And it's just not cool. It's not cool. So these are the things I read about on X. Okay, Elaine Adams said Kim was an adult. She is responsible for her actions as much as any adult woman. I'm responsible for mine. Smiley face. We won't stand before God and place blame for our actions as an adult. I can't judge a situation because all I have heard is hearsay. Okay, Kim. Sorry, Elaine. Got a lot of names going on. Elaine, what I don't get is how people think adults can't be groomed and manipulated. How do you think so many women get into abusive relationships? Or men? How many, like, there's abusive relationships on both sides. And it's like, how is it that you think that an adult is above being manipulated? Like, you can't manipulate someone and then say, oh, well, they're responsible for their own actions. No. This is crazy. Like, X is very volatile, you guys. If you don't have an X account, I come on here because I get ideas for videos. I'm sorry, I'm just reading these replies to Ron's post, but it's just very volatile and people are mean. They are mean, mean, mean. And then, I kind of like some of Taylor Swift's music, so she owns the masters to her albums now. And so that's like all that's been popping up on my X. It was just a bunch of stuff about the church, and now Taylor's back in my feed. So the conservative right has become an idol to many in the church. I'm not sure what that means. This is the Honest Youth Pastor. I don't follow the Honest Youth Pastor, but X recommended him to me. A real question, no snark. Do you mean conservatives in general, or is this related to woke rightism? Okay, woke rightism, honestly, I feel like that describes the Lamb family. Rachel and Joshua and Joni, personally, in my opinion. I think it's both. My mother-in-law acts as if God will forsake the church if a Republican president is not in charge. Many people do kind of have that mentality, I guess. I just think they need to maybe study the word a little more and understand that God's truth does not stop depending on who the president is. God is always faithful, regardless of who's in office. We went to lunch today, and a group of 30-ish adult teens were there. They had just come from church. I would question my life views if I was you, but cool. I don't really get, I do think conservative right has become an idol to many in the church. I agree. I actually agree with that statement. I think that people idolize politics way too much on both sides, in the church and out of the church. And I'm not going to be that person to say, oh, don't get involved with politics, don't pay attention to that. That's just silly. We don't need to bury our heads in the sand, but also to allow it to run your life. It's never been, I think when I was very young, like a kid, politics was really important to me because I was just learning about it, and I was curious and everything. And I still feel like even then I was just too into it. And so I knew that my personality, couldn't handle it. And when Barack Obama I think it was when he was up for re-election against Mitt Romney. Is that who he ran against in his re-election? Okay, yeah, because John McCain was who he ran against in 2008. And then in 2012, I was sitting there watching the results at my neighbor's house. And I'm 15, 16. And I broke out into hives. And I thought, no, this is not going to happen. I am not allowing myself to get so involved to the point where I'm having a physical reaction. Now, I do care about who is elected, and that does matter, and it's really cool and everything when the person you want gets into office. It's a great feeling. But to have it be your, only thing that you think about in life, no. I would not do that anymore. So let's see what else we have on here. This really, some couldn't hear because the only people saying it were perceived enemies. We have the same weakness more often than not as an ideological opponents. Humility is very useful. Good idea. Ayo. That's exactly what a youth pastor would say. There's nothing left to conserve. I completely agree with this. Politicians say that you want to hear not because they mean it, but because it scores them political points. Politics divide us. Christ calls us to come together to be one. Politics does the exact opposite. Trust God. Oh, I think that's good. I'm going to put a little heart on that. Yeah, friendly neighborhood. I was so into the election that I broke out into hives whenever they were like reading the results and stuff, and Obama was winning because I wanted Mitt Romney to win when I was 16 or however old I was at the time. And I just got so nervous, like, and then as I was sitting there with hives, I thought, God is in control. Like, it doesn't matter how bad Obama may or may not be. And, like, why not believe the best in him and believe that God can work through him? And so, I don't know. I kind of just turned away from politics after that, in the sense that I couldn't even vote. And then when I was allowed to vote at the age where I was able, I still just didn't allow that to control me and run my life. So, made a good decision. I think that I've carried that little personal conviction of mine with me since then, and it's been really useful in my life to not allow politics to make me break out in hives again for no reason. So, yeah, Hide Out Loud says, be informed, not obsessed. Completely agree. So, all right, well, we have 3 minutes until the broadcast starts. I'm going to go grab a LaCroix. I'm glad everything is running smoothly today. And I will see you guys in my broadcast where we discuss Joni Table Talk. And we will have a very special person involved, and that will be Redwig. And I'm excited about it. So I'll see you there.